Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I hope everyone is in a good mood and ready for some fun gaming goodness today. I'm Darkside Phil, and I welcome you to the stream. Today is Sunday, the 21st of March, 2021. Hello, hello. Good morning. Full day of streaming today. In fact, with all the schedule changes this week, I'm streaming 4 more days. Yeah. I'm streaming 4 more straight days this week, guys. Woo! A long week, a long streaming week without a break for me. But as I tell you guys all the time, I love what I do. So, it doesn't really bother me to be here for 7 straight days streaming. It doesn't, because I enjoy myself so much playing games, hanging out, and having a good time with all of you. I hope you guys know that, okay? I hope you guys are also getting used to the new streaming schedule for the early stream, which now has changed. It used to start at 10:15 a.m. and then run like half an hour or more of music. And then I would start pre-stream, and, we wouldn't... basically, the pre-stream would go on like a long time, and now I'm trying to abridge the pre-stream at the very least so that I'm not gabbing about off-topic stuff for too long. The stream now starts at 10:45 a.m. Pacific time, and only has 15 minutes of music. So, less downtime here before the talking starts. You're here to hear me talk and talk with me and watch me play games. You're not here to listen to music all morning, right? So, the new change is in effect for a couple of days, so people are still confused about it. But I think long term, you guys will get used to it. Alright? Alright, so let's talk, my friends, about what's coming up this week, because now we have an idea of the entire streaming week, what's going to happen here. Today is a continuation of Danganronpa V3. We're going to get to do a full stream today, I promise you. There will be no interruptions and baloney like there was earlier this week, which distracted me from about an hour. I wasn't able to play the game, which is stupid, of course. A complete waste of everyone's time. But now I'll be able to do a full stream of it. So I hope you guys will join me today for Danganronpa V3. We haven't even gotten into the meat of the mystery yet. We know there's a bunch of kids who were kidnapped, and they're inside of this abandoned, overgrown school, and they're inside of a dome where there's dormitories and other things around the school, but they can't get outside of the dome. We know that much. And that's about it. We know there's these robot bears. But we don't know what the hell the actual plot is yet. We know that all the kids supposedly are ultimates, meaning that they have some kind of innate special ability. One of them is a pianist. One of them is an entomologist. They have these different abilities that they're good at. One of them is supposed to be an astronaut, which makes no sense, because why would a teenager go to space? Right? But anyway, that's as far as we got. We only got about 2 hours in, and that's as far as we got with the plot. So we don't know what's going to happen. It'll be exciting to figure out what will happen today as we get further in. 3 more hours in. Okay? So, this is going to be a chill stream, because it's more just about the plot and just kind of hanging out. So I hope you guys are okay with that. Not going to be anything major, action-packed, or anything like that. Although I guess the game does have some action segments now, which I never had before in the previous ones. Now we're shooting this gunner, and we're shooting stuff, which is so silly. So, yes, major stream today. I'm excited for this. I hope we get a big chunk into the story today. The game's going to be incredibly long, so let's at least get to the first twist. That would be nice. Excuse me. So that's today's major gameplay stream. Later tonight, it's a continuation of Genshin Impact on the late stream. And when I played Genshin Impact the other day for the first time in like 4 months, really it was just kind of trying to remembering how to play the game, okay? I hadn't played it in so long that I'd forgotten everything, the controls and what we were doing and all that. It was basically just a kind of a mess. So this time around when I play tonight, hopefully we'll be more focused. I'll be able to do more stuff. I am trying to level up to Adventure Rank 18 so I can continue with the story. Can't do it yet because I'm 17. But it's going to be a chill stream. It's going to be just kind of relaxing and open world exploring and doing combat and stuff. So I hope you guys will join me for that later tonight, alright? Tomorrow, totally different kind of day. Tomorrow we're going to be continuing on with Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection. Very, very challenging game. Very grueling. Many, many, many deaths. But I am progressing on. I've beaten the first 4 stages. And we are in the early parts of stage 5. So I hope you guys will join me for that tomorrow. Especially been waiting for that all week. Finally, major stream. And on Monday night, it's the premiere of Fall Guys Season 4. New content, new stages, new outfits, all kinds of new stuff in Fall Guys. We'll be checking it out for the first time. So I hope you'll join me for that on Monday night. That should be interesting. Okay? Tuesday, more Divinity Original Sin 2. And Tuesday night, I believe I said it was going to be Call of Duty. I'm trying to remember because I'm here both Tuesday and Wednesday now. So yes, so Divinity and Call of Duty on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, it'll be more Danganronpa V3 on the main stream. And in the late night stream, I'm leaving completely open. It could be either Genshin Impact, or more Fall Guys, or more Call of Duty. If you want it 2 nights in a row, I'm okay with that. I've unlocked the thermal scope as of last night in Call of Duty. And I played, and man, I'm doing way better now with the thermal scope. Getting fun kill streaks, and everything's looking bright. So it's up to you if you guys want to see a lot more Call of Duty this week or only a little bit. I've already played a ton of it. Your call. Okay? So, we shall see what happens. But that is it. 4 straight days of streaming still this week. You know, Tuesday used to be my day off. Now Thursday's my day off. This week, anyway. And again, I'm not sure if this is going to be consistent or not. Hey, Jasper Kitty bit me. How dare you? How dare you try to play and bite? That's it. Now you're going to get it. Now I'm going to suplex Jasper across the office right now. Come here. Kitty suplex time. He's playing. He's so silly. He's so silly. He was so active that he wants to play. How dare you? That's it. Give me this twisty. Get this twisty right now. Get it. Get it. He's a nut. He is a nutty kitty. He wants my attention during the pre-stream. He's like, stop talking to those people. Stop talking to those people and play with me. That's right. People are so dumb. They're like, yeah, animal abuse. Yes, because I really do a flying standing suplex to my cat. Of course I do. You fucking idiot. Of course, yes. And then I do a flying elbow drop off the top of my laptop desk onto his chest. Of course I do. Stupid. You morons. It's a joke. We joke around. He likes to play. He likes to be silly and play and bite and run and grab. So I joke about wrestling him. Boy, you guys... Holy crap. So people are just dumb. Anyway. He's playing with the twisty now. Good. Alright, so anyway. Yeah. 4 straight streaming days. Now, I don't know if Thursday will be my day off every week. Last week it was Wednesday. This week it's Thursday. It really depends on my wife's schedule, which we don't know. The good news is we know it's now going to be locked in as mornings. So she's going to be at work every morning when I'm streaming. Well, mostly. She's going to have a few days off, of course. But most days when I'm streaming, she'll be at work. That means Jasper will be able to be in here during the earlier streams. Okay? But unfortunately, we just don't have a set schedule for days off yet. We don't know if they're going to eventually give her the same days off every week or if it's going to fluctuate. All right? The good news is it seems like her days off is either going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday every week. So as long as that remains, that means it will be one of those days every week. And also means, you know, usually it won't coincide with a major game release on like a Friday. So that's a good thing. But we'll see what happens moving forward. Okay? All right. All right. Ah, my arm itches. Okay. All right. So, that's the schedule for the week. Please keep in mind, folks, it is the 21st of March. That means we have a little over a week left in this month. And the goal for this month for subscribers has already been hit, which is amazing. Thank you guys for that support. But now, we're trying to hit a Tier 2 subs goal. And if we hit that Tier 2 subs goal, it means that during the upcoming marathon event, that's going to take place likely in early April, all right, will also be a live DSP Tries It. There's so many new items that have come out in fast food recently that for DSP Tries It, it would be really cool to try some of these out. There's things around here. For example, the new chicken sandwich at McDonald's. I think Wendy's has like 1 or 2 new things. There's also a brand new business that just opened up down the road from me, a fresh Mexican food place that Kat and I tried it yesterday. We were blown away at how good it was. I got a burrito. That was the biggest and best burrito I've ever eaten in my entire life. A chicken fajita burrito. It was so ridiculously good. Seriously. The best burrito in history that I've ever eaten. So, because of that, maybe I could try out something from there as a DSP tries it. Their menu is huge. They've got tacos. They've got burritos. They've got enchiladas. They've got quesadillas. They've got tostones. They've got flautas. They've got rolled, fried, deep fried tacos. They've got all this different stuff that I could try out for DSP Tries It too. So that's a good idea too for DSP Tries It. Something completely different. You guys probably never even heard of this place, but man, it was so good. This burrito was insanely good. Baldy says sounds expensive. Actually, they're not. Their prices are incredibly reasonable. In fact, I was saying this to Kat. I said, Kat, you realize that usually if we go to a place like Taco Bell, right, which is terrible food, but it's something fast to grab. I was like, usually if we go to Taco Bell, we'll spend about roughly between $15 to $20 between the two of us, depending on what we get. You know, if you get a combo meal, usually it's like $7, $8, or a little more depending on which combo you get, plus tax, and it ends up being like $20 if you get food for 2 people. I said, yesterday we went to this Mexican place. I got 2 giant burritos, one for each of us. It was $15. It was cheaper to go to this place than it was to go to the shitty fast food Taco Bell. And the food was insanely fresh, way more filling, and 10 times better. Cheaper and better. So, that's what I'm saying. What am I getting? Advanced Yoga says, what are you getting? You realize at Taco Bell, it's expensive. For example, I like to get the 2 chalupas combo at Taco Bell. That's like $8 and change, so it's almost $9. So depending on what combo you get at Taco Bell, you get 2 combos plus tax is $20. Yeah, it's fucking expensive for shitty Taco Bell. It sucks. So, yes, maybe I could do that for DSP Tries It. Try some of their menu for DSP Tries It. But anyway, I digress. I got so distracted talking about this amazing food. We have to hit the tier 2 subs goal for the month, guys, to make a new DSP Tries It happen. Right now, we have stalled. We did hit the tier 1 goal, and then we gained some headway, and then went right back. We need to hit 775 subs by the end of this month in order to have a live DSP Tries It during the upcoming marathon event. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, I urge you to do so. There's many benefits you get, including access to over 40 emotes. You don't have to watch advertisements when I take ad breaks. And, I have to burp. And, you get a cool chat crown badge to see how long you've been a supporter. You can see right in the stream chat right now who's been a supporter. Okay? Good stuff. It's not mandatory to be a sub, but it's highly recommended. Also, maybe you just want to help out other people in the stream. You can gift a sub, right? You can anonymously gift a sub. Drop an anonymous sub bomb and help out a bunch of people. Brighten their day. It's a good way to support the stream. It's a good way to help out others. There you go. All right, guys. So anyway, I digress. Thank you for all of your support. If you cheer, sub, or tip today, I'll give you a shout out. This game in particular is highly narrative, meaning I don't really have to focus too much on the game. I can talk with you guys a lot if you want. So contributions are greatly appreciated, and I will give you a shout out no matter how you contribute. We do have tips goals in effect for today. If you raise $50 in tips, I'll put on my Gunner glasses. If you raise $100 in tips, I'll put on a vest of your choice. Last night, I wore the platinum vest. Okay? So today, all other vests would be eligible. The beige, the blue, the red, the camo, or the gray. All eligible today on the stream. Okay? And then there's tier 2 and tier 3 goals for tips. If we double the tips goal, triple the tips goal, we won't go crazy talk about those unless it happens, which is a rarity that it would happen. But just in case, just so you know, there are more things that we can do. Thank you in advance to anyone who contributes. Contributions are not mandatory at all, nor are they expected. However, they're greatly appreciated. I'm an independent content creator. I don't have any sponsorships. I don't have any exclusive contracts to stream anywhere and make money just for turning on my stream. I make a living through crowdfunding via you guys. You guys tell me all the time how you appreciate what I've been doing for over 12 years, how I operate my streams, how they're different from other people's, because it's not just about shilling and advertising a product. It's not paid advertisement, right? So thank you in advance for any contributions during said stream. I appreciate them very much. Some tips for those who are regular attendees and supporters. Number one, please be sure to diversify your name on Twitch. Do not use a name on Twitch that's the same as the name you use on social media accounts. That would be a very bad idea. People will troll if they can. If they can follow you to other places, they will. So don't do that. I also recommend you close your direct messages off to open access here on Twitch. Sadly, these idiot trolls will harass you, especially if you contribute. They'll likely send you a bunch of nasty direct messages. Last thing you want is that happening, so I recommend you close them off entirely, although you do have the ability to make it so that only people on your friends list on Twitch can direct message you. Personally, I don't think there's much use of them. A very loud chopper going over my house right now. Oh, I see. It's the CIA. They're rappelling down. Oh, they're kicking in my window right now. All right, I'm being raided. I'll see you guys in Guantanamo. No, luckily that wasn't for me. Not this time anyway. Okay. Let's see here. Let's continue on. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do your best to protect your identity, diversify yourself, and close your direct messages. All right. If you're going to tip me today, I recommend you make a verified PayPal account on PayPal. Making a verified PayPal account links your real life information, proving that you're a real human and that you're not just trying to troll. All right. This is incredibly useful for me because I know that it's a real tip when you send it, rather than someone using a fake credit card or stolen credit card that could hurt me and my business and also hurt others as well. So please make a verified PayPal account if you're planning on contributing via tipping. All right. It also benefits you because in the long term, you get a lot of protections on the internet for having that verified PayPal account. In addition, if you're going to be a regular tipper, like you're going to tip every once in a while, you might want to think up a code word that you can use in your tip message. What I mean by that is you can make up a word, all right, that you can say in your tips message, and I'll know that it's you because you always use that same word. That way I know it's not someone trying to impersonate you and get you in trouble or say something stupid. See what I'm saying? I'll know that I can trust that tip no matter what. So just a few ideas. Verified PayPal account and code word if you tip. It helps out. You know what I'm debating? I am debating bringing back the tip pop-up messages, but not including text. Because people now have these code words and things that they're using. And I'm like, I think maybe it would make sense to bring back just the pop-up message. To say like just, okay, so-and-so tipped. And that's it. I'm thinking that might be good. And then no message. Because that way, people could still use their code words and things. So I'm strongly debating bringing back the pop-up messages. Okay. I'm trying to think how to implement that. I'm pretty sure I could do that pretty easily, actually. So. Okay, anyway. Excuse me. All right, that's about it. Games news, there's not much. I guess Square Enix had a press event. And during this press event, there wasn't much going on except that game that people were surmising was the next Final Fantasy is definitely not the next Final Fantasy. I think it's called... Is it called Forsaken? Or something like that. I forgot what the name of it was. But it looks amazing. The graphics look like really sweet. Like really, oh my god, they blow your mind how good these graphics look. Okay? And there's a lot of traversal. There's a lot of, traversal of terrain in this game. Some people have said it kind of looks like Spider-Man, but of course it's not. It's in a fantasy setting. Forspoken. There you go. Forspoken. That's what it's called. Forspoken. It looks great to me. Like everything that they've shown so far. Everything they showed so far is great. Absolutely great. Yeah. The game looks really interesting to me. Something unique and different. And I'm looking forward to this. It's a shame we don't really have release date information yet. It's still in development. But Forspoken. It's good shit. Who cares about graphics if gameplay is shit, says Suwugi. Well, I mean, that's true. But we don't know. It's not out yet. It's being developed right now. Okay. All right. Let's roll into shout-outs. Shout-outs for your contributions. What do you guys say? Uh-oh. Now I hear police. Maybe they really are coming for me. I don't know. Listen to that. You hear that? The police are coming. I'm in trouble here. No, okay, they're driving the other way. You know, with the tremendous amount of contraband that I have in my home, I'm always afraid that the police will bust down the door one day. You know, all kinds of stuff here. It's not a lot. Cuban cigars, giant boxes of Cuban cigars that I have here. You know, smuggled animals that are not allowed in the United States. Intrusive species to the country that I keep here. You know, I always wonder what's going to happen if the police get here. They almost got me. They almost got me. Many years ago, when the police broke down my door. Luckily, they just ran into my office and found a bunch of gamer shit. They didn't find the contraband. That was good. Anyway, of course I jest. Let us now get to shoutouts. Our first contribution to shout out is Crash Bandicooper, who cheered overnight and said, Phil, PlayStation has bought Evo. Actually, Sony bought Evo, not PlayStation. Your thoughts on this? Are you happy or angry with the news? I did a full explanation of my thoughts about this. I believe it was 2 days ago on pre-stream. It might have been yesterday, but I think it was 2 days ago on pre-stream. I can't remember. But I went into full detail about the history of me and the people who run Evo, and how I feel about them truly, and how I felt about Sony buying Evo. That it's kind of bittersweet, because it is the end of the grassroots era of feeling like fighting games in Street Fighter are run by the fans and by the players. Instead, it's going to be run by a major corporation. At the same time, those guys were always corrupt anyway. They always were. Since back in the day, since the early 2000s, before it was even called Evo, B5, that tournament was rigged. Evo's rigged. They always fuck with the tournament. So I don't care. I really don't. I never liked those guys to begin with. And most people who weren't friendly with them from the west coast of the United States, like the Sunnyvale Golfland crew, most people also didn't like them. We were just forced into dealing with them because they were rich and they could finance Evo. And someone made a good point the other day. They said, you know, you may have personal issues with them, but at least they should have some respect, because they did basically keep the grassroots movement of Street Fighter alive during a time when there were no new fighting games. And yeah, you're right. They actually financed Evo during the early 2000s all the way through, say, 2008, 2009, before Street Fighter 4 came out. When Street Fighter 4 came out, the fighting game community saw a huge resurgence because the game itself became mainstream popular and everyone was interested in it and playing it. And it got tons of exposure and attention. Tons of sponsorship appeared for the first time ever, because that was always a major problem with fighting games, is there was no sponsorship for it at all. And then all of a sudden, like, boom, all these companies want to be involved with Street Fighter and fighting games, right? So, yes, I would say they do deserve a little bit of respect at the very least for doing that. They really, I would argue, likely the first half of the 2000s, they probably didn't make any money running Evo. It wasn't until probably the second half of the 2000s that they were making bank. And of course, now the 2010s, are you kidding me? With all the sponsorship involved, with all the players, you know, involved for the first time, yeah, Evo was making ridiculous amounts of money. They really, and of course, now that they sold Evo to Sony, they probably made millions of dollars on that deal. So they're rich now. I'm sure they don't give a fuck anymore. So it is what it is. But those are my rough thoughts. If you want the full story of everything, check out the pre-stream from a day or two ago, where I fully outline the idea of, you know, what I thought about Evo over the years and everything. Okay? Okay. What's hilarious is that we got a bunch of idiots in the stream chat complaining, saying, oh, Phil has ceaseless blabbing, and this is like, this is the pre-stream, stupid. This is the point of the pre-stream, for me to answer people's questions and blab. Like, you might call it the blabbing hour. That's the point of this hour of stream before I game. So if you don't like it, why are you here? Seriously. If you don't like to hear me talk, why are you on a segment of my stream where all I do is answer questions and talk? You'd have to be a complete fucking idiot. Oh, I think I just answered my own question. All right, let's continue. Crash Bandicoot cheered again. He says, "It's in the news. It's incredibly complicated to transfer your save file for Avengers from PS4 to PS5. Many people are very frustrated. Unlike Xbox, it's seamless. Can this game get any more bad publicity?" Well, I mean, that there does leave something to be said here. Why is it seamless on one console and not the other, right? Another thing, here we are 4 months into the launch of PlayStation 5. No optical out port, so still people who use surround sound can't use their old equipment anymore, right? They say, oh, go buy a fucking expensive ass adapter. Well, the adapter doesn't really work. Even if you use the adapter, it doesn't really work perfectly. It has issues. If you want to use a headset on the PlayStation 5, you can't do audio out for your stream. What? Yeah, if you actually plug headphones directly into your PS5, you can't have audio out to capture. So there's a lot of, in my opinion, there's a lot of oversights with PS5. Sony was not thinking big picture. They were thinking, all right, mainstream consumer, just going to sit down and play a game. This console's great. Okay, what about everyone else? You know, mainstream consumers, maybe 60% of their market, maybe 70%. But there's an incredible amount of people who capture and stream. There's an incredible amount of people now who have existing equipment they want to use on it. They don't have to go buy new shit or learn a new way to use stuff. And, I mean, file transfers, that's like, of course, if you own a game on PS4 and there's a PS5 version of the game, of course you want to have a seamless transition from one to the other. Why is everything so hard on PlayStation 5? It's a good question. It's almost like they didn't think about it at all. They just didn't care. It's like, well, no, that's dumb. It really is dumb. It's supposed to be a next generation console when you spend all this money to buy it, especially with how difficult it still is to get a PlayStation 5 4 months after the launch, right? It's still incredibly tough to get a PlayStation 5, right? With that being said, why is it such a pain in the ass to use with all these shortcomings? And by the way, it's not like Sony's thinking about fixing them. They haven't said a word about it. They don't care. PlayStation 5 is the most sought-after console ever. It's the highest sales in a short period of time. It's got, it sells, it flies off the online orders as soon as it's available. So Sony just doesn't care. In their eyes, the thing's a massive success. I think they should be thinking about these things. I don't know. Now, I guess another factor here was with the whole save file transfer is that cloud saves were down on the day when Avengers Upgrade came out for PlayStation 5. I know because I turned on my PS5 and it had all these errors. I was like, huh? I look at it and it was like, yeah, error. All your cloud saves didn't work. I guess cloud saving was down for a couple days. Now it seems to be fine because now I've turned on my PS5 since then and it seems like everything's okay. So I guess it kind of fixed itself, but yeah, it was very odd on a day of a major upgrade release. A lot of people had bought Avengers on PS4 under the premise that it was going to get that free PS5 upgrade, and they were going to play it, a lot more when it came out for PS5 and ran better. That was like the thing, and then of course keep in mind the PlayStation 5 version was supposed to come out at launch of the console, and it got delayed many months because the game sold so poorly at launch that they pushed it back. So a lot of people were waiting for this, and now it's finally coming out, and now it's kind of like jammed, like all these problems, right? But you guys told me not to play it. Remember I said this week, I said, I'll do it, I'll play the upgrade, we'll see what it's like, and you guys were like, nope, the police game sucks, so why are you going to play that? So I never did, and I didn't have to deal with all that. So maybe it was all for the best. Crash Bandicoot cheered again overnight. He said Gotham Knight was delayed till 2022, so now there's almost no big AAA games this year. Does this anger you? Does it anger me? No. And even though right now we have no dates for major AAA games, I don't think that it's going to be the case all year. Like, what I'm really thinking is a lot of these companies are going to, in the next few months, be doing digital events. Keep in mind, usually a lot of these companies will wait for E3, which would be June, to announce all their big announcements, and then we have all these game dates release dates for the rest of the year. But now there's no more E3. So I think what we're going to see is a lot of digital events are going to happen over the next couple of months, like April, May, and then into June. You're going to see all these digital events online. Trailers are going to drop. Release dates are going to come out for a lot of major games. We haven't heard a peep about the new Horizon, about God of War Ragnarok, Elden Ring. We heard what we weren't supposed to hear. We actually got to see part of the trailer that wasn't supposed to be leaked, but it was, I definitely feel we're going to see a lot of information about these new releases soon. I just think that it's kind of delayed because of COVID and everything, but I do think that it's going to happen. Okay? All right. And now it's time for my nap time, guys. So I'll see you guys about 20 minutes. Just going to lay down here, get nice and comfy and go to sleep. Here we go. Okay, no, we're not going to do that. Let's continue. Golden Colts. 1 hour ago, he cheered and said the following. Have you ever had little marshmallow birds that are sugary called Peeps? I think they're absolutely vile, and anyone who likes them should be jailed. I have had Peeps before on Easter, and that's about it. Like, my parents, when I was a kid, used to make an Easter basket for myself and my cousin, and usually you get Cadbury cream eggs. Oh, man, those are good. And there's also little chocolate, like solid chocolate eggs you could get. I think those were Dove chocolate. So they would always get those, and then they would get Peeps. 1 pack of Peeps. And I would say this. I would never eat Peeps outside of Easter. And it really is just for me, it's just a holiday thing. I would never go out of my way to eat marshmallow Peeps. They're all right, by the way. There's different ones. There's ones that are shaped like chicks. Baby chickens. There's ones that are shaped like rabbits. There's ones that are shaped like everything. Like, they have every shape possible. All right? Last year, basically, the Peeps didn't even exist because of COVID. Everything was closed, so they didn't even mass produce them. They said Peeps are canceled for 2020. But this year, they're coming back because stores are open again. So this year, they're coming back in full force. So expect to have the weirdest Peep things you've ever seen in your life. Now, to my knowledge, most of them are just marshmallow and sugar. That's it. I don't know if they have flavors or not. I don't think I've ever ate a flavored Peep, but they might have them. But yeah, all this is a giant chunk of fluffy marshmallow covered in sugar. So it's sugar on sugar on sugar. Not super appetizing. Like I said, I would have one as a rarity. I would have one and bite into it, have one, and that was it. I would never even eat more than one at a time if I were to eat them, because they're so sugary. So I would eat them, but I wasn't in love with them. I tell you guys, I'm a chocoholic. I was all about the chocolate at Easter. My mom would sometimes buy me a big chocolate bunny that would take me 2 weeks to finish because it's such a giant, solid chunk of chocolate. But yeah, Peeps are, for a lot of people, they're gross. My wife hates them. My wife says, oh, that's disgusting to her. She's like, I could never bite into a giant thing of marshmallow like that. Well, I personally enjoy marshmallow. I don't eat it a lot, but I do enjoy the flavor of it. A lot of people just hate that. They don't like the spongy consistency and stuff. They think it's disgusting. So. Oh, man. Whew. Do my parents still buy me an Easter egg? Yes, they send me an Easter basket every year. It's amazing. And somehow, even though they don't live here, they somehow hide eggs all over my house. And they put quarters inside of them, and I run around looking for the quarters. Of course. 39 years old. That's what I do. Golden Colts cheered again. He says, what are some foods that are worth fermenting? Please say some fermented food ideas that you would actually eat besides pickles, olives, and sauerkraut. See, I don't even think of it that way. I never even think that, oh yeah, pickles are fermented food. I seriously don't think of it like that. Even though it is. Absolutely it is. Those pickles are cucumbers that are then put into a brine of vinegar and other spices, right? And it just sits there over time, ages, and it imbues the flavor in the cucumber. You don't really think about it like that, do you? You don't. You just think, oh, it's a pickle is a unique product. You don't think that, oh, that's just a cucumber that was sitting in a juice for like a million years. Personally, the idea of food decomposing over time to add flavor sounds disgusting, but I'm well aware that there's a lot of foods that we actually eat that are like that, and you know, they're perfectly fine for you. It's not like they're bad for you because they're fermented, as long as it's done properly. I don't eat a lot of them. I would say, yeah, the only two that I really eat would be pickles and sauerkraut, right? I'm trying to think, like, what other foods that I eat are fermented. Like, I don't eat kimchi. I don't eat any of those weird cheeses. You know, they have those cheeses that have fucking big chunks of mold and shit in them. I don't have that. I don't eat that. So basically, you know, regular cheese, I would say, is probably, you know, meat. What meat would I eat that's fermented? What would fermented meat be? Like beef jerky? Or are there other meats that are fermented? Because I don't think I eat any of them. Yeah, I don't think I eat any of them. I thought Americans love blue cheese, says Hurdy Gurdy. I thought that I don't like blue cheese. It's okay, but I don't go out of my way to eat it. You know, as a component in a sandwich or a salad or something. If it goes with it, okay. But I would never ask for blue cheese. Seriously, I would never say, hey, can I have blue cheese, please? I would never do that. Pickled pig's feet. Never had that. Fermented shrimp. Never had fermented shrimp, I don't think. Prosciutto? Is prosciutto fermented meat? I think it's just, it's prepared with salt and other seasonings, but I don't know necessarily know if it's fermented, right? It's see, curing and fermenting are different. Curing and fermenting are definitely different. Yeah. Anyway, I don't really have a good answer for this. I don't really do much with fermented food, so. Alright. Wig Jr. resubscribed for 5 months. Thank you, Wig Jr. for the sub. UnFUF86 tipped me $5. Say hi to Jasper for me. Hey, Jasper. UnFUF says hi. I'm petting him right now as I tell him. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice that he says hi to you? That's very nice. People on the internet like you. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for the $5 tip. That's the first tip of the day. All right. Let's add that to the total. Our first tip of the day, $5. Thank you very much. Let's see here. 672 gifted a sub to Nightbot. Thank you very much for that. That means that Nightbot will now have access to all the emotes and everything, which is nice. Thank you, 672, for the support. Mr. Hurdy Gurdy Man cheered. This is the actual first cheer during today's live stream. Actually, I take that back. Golden Colt's cheer was. Never mind. I took it. Golden Colt should be on the leaderboard. My bad. He actually did cheer during the stream. There we go. Jasper, you're so silly. All right. So Hurdy Gurdy Man says, I think there's a conspiracy that I purposely will delay telling people about tips so that more people will tip. No, if you actually take a look, there are certain games, for example, Street Fighter, Call of Duty, and others that are very attention grabbing. I would say right now, Ghosts and Goblins. Those games are very intention heavy. I can't play them and really pay attention to other stuff. I have to be 100% focused on what's going on in those games at all times, okay? And so, when I'm playing them, it's a lot of times contributions come in, and I have to wait for downtime to sit down and give you guys shout-outs. For example, Street Fighter, sometimes I'm on a win streak, and there's like no time at all until I finally lose, which could be, you know, sometimes I'm getting 10, 20 wins in a row. So it's a pain in the butt because, you know, people want shout-outs right away, but when do I do them? When I'm playing games constantly back-to-back. Call of Duty, each game is about, 10 minutes, roughly. So you got the whole 10-minute segments where I can't really do any shout-outs till the match ends, and then I do the shout-outs in between, usually. That's just how it is. That's the nature of how those games work. So, and of course, keep in mind, a game like Danganronpa, complete opposite. It's all narrative. So I could usually just shout out whenever. If it's a narrative-based game, at any moment, I could just stop. Oh, the cops are coming again. I could just stop to do a shout-out. So you see, it's a very different situation, different kind of game. So, the thing is, of course, you're right. People want to make up conspiracies because they're assholes. Oh, Phil secretly has tons of tips coming on in the background. He purposely doesn't give shout-outs for them so that more tips will come in. Yes, that sounds like something an idiot would say. That sounds like someone who's just a piece of shit, who just wants to constantly say negative stuff about me, another conspiracy that they would make up because they're boring, loserish people. So, congrats to the boring, loserish people who make up insulting things all the time. You're assholes. But it's definitely not true. Banished Legion did a 50-bit cheers. Is there any chance you can play Ghosts and Goblins more often? It's entertaining. And can I call you Big Daddy Phil? Well, this week, all right, I actually would have played it more, but you remember, you guys wanted me to check out Monster Hunter. So I did. So really, Monster Hunter, that stream kind of threw a monkey wrench into the schedule. If I didn't play Monster Hunter on, what was it, Thursday, I would have played Ghosts and Goblins an extra time. But it took up a whole stream, you see. I am going to be playing more Danganronpa this week. Why? Because the game just started and we had a slow start. It is also a narrative-based game where we're going to need to do a lot of it to get into the interesting parts, okay? As opposed to Ghosts and Goblins, where literally, every single session is full of deaths, full of action, full of rage, full of resentment and remorse and lamenting at my fails. You see? So, it's kind of a very different deal, but I felt this week it would make more sense. It would make more sense for you to focus on more progress in Danganronpa than it would in Ghosts and Goblins. Also, Danganronpa is a narrative-based game, while Ghosts and Goblins is just, again, it's just gameplay. So, Ghosts and Goblins I could literally play for 7 months. It wouldn't matter, you know, because it's raw gameplay versus a story that's developing, you see. I didn't even notice you had gone back there. Jasper had gone behind the consoles. I didn't even know you went back there. What'd you go back there for? Did you see something? There's nothing back there. Alright, continuing on. Awesomeness Kaboom did a 300-bit cheer. That's the biggest cheer of the day, so let's get him up on the leaderboard. Here we go. 300 bits. He says, I recently bought a pop figure Doctor Strange. Ugh, excuse me. Holy crap. Let's try that again. I recently got a pop figure Doctor Strange. My regular nurse came in to see me today and said, is that Phil? I laughed and said, no. Haha. So apparently I look like Benedict Cumberbatch. That's the first time in my life I've ever heard that I looked like Benedict Cumberbatch. That's probably the last time I'll hear that too. I don't think anyone's ever going to say I look like Doctor Strange. Alrighty then. Thank you for the cheer. Beryl Shroud did a 200-bit cheer. So would you rather fight 2 human-sized bears or 2 bear-sized humans? They're exactly the same. Bears are pretty much around the size of humans, maybe a little larger or a little smaller depending on the type of bear or the age of the bear. So that's pretty much a non-question. My answer is I would not like to fight anyone or any creature. How about that? I'm a lover, not a fighter, as they say. Super Sly Gaming cheered. He says, though I'm no Oliver, if he fought Sugar Ray, he would say, if it's the thing ain't the ring, it's the play. So give me a stage. Where's this bull where he could rage? What the fuck? Sounds like a quote from a famous boxer about a fight. I have no idea who. Could it be Muhammad Ali or someone? But I'm sure I botched it. You know, that was pretty much out of context. But thank you very much, Super Sly Gaming, for the cheer. Xbox One is garbage. Timmy $1.30 and says, have you seen this Ludwig guy? He's been streaming for 6 days straight. He has set every sub he streams 10 seconds longer. The timer is on 50-some hours left, and he's made over $350,000 in 6 days. It must be nice. Okay. Congrats to that guy, I guess. Don't know who the hell you're talking about. But alrighty then. Congrats to him. Success as a streamer. Very nice. The hated one cheered. Now here's another one. Asmund Gold is doing a charity stream. I don't know why everyone's so focused on other streamers today. Asmund Gold is doing a charity stream right now, and he's up $180,000 in 4 hours. Congratulations to Asmund Gold. Sounds like you're doing some really good work out there, and that is deserving of praise. Good man. Good on you, Asmund Gold. Very nice. Okay. All right. That's about it. Shoutouts. Today, by the way, today's Sunday. That means today's the final streaming day of the week per Twitch's criteria, even though I'll still be here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. For their criteria, everything resets on Sunday night. Okay? So, if you were looking to be noticed this week as either one of the top 10 cheerers or one of the top 10 people who gifted subscriptions to the channel, now is the time. You must do so today to get on that leaderboard. After today, it will reset to 0. Okay? All right. Shout out to the top 10 cheerers of the week. In 10th place, B-Boy Cyclone. In 9th place, Awesomeness Kaboom. In 8th place, Eternal Napalm. In 7th place, Twisted Resistor. In 6th place, Timbo Slice. 5th place goes to Hurdy Gurdy Man. 4th place, Ripley Atomic. 3rd place, Isle of KOK. 2nd place, Detractor Arthur. And in 1st place, Mr. Minecraftish. Yes, the tie was finally broken when Mr. Minecraftish reappeared yesterday and cheered to break the tiebreaker and become 1st place for cheering this week. So it looks like he's going to end up probably being the top cheerer. Unless some crazy cheering bombs come in today, that we're not foreseeing. Likely, Mr. Minecraftish will end up being the top cheerer of the week overall. Alrighty then. Now also, shout out to the top sub-gifters of the week. Thank you to those who gifted subs to the channel to allow us to hit the Tier 1 tips goal earlier this week. Now, there's 2 people on here. It says they've only gifted a single sub. I'm well aware there's way more than that, but these are the 2 that show up on the leaderboard. So shout out to Mr. Minecraftish and 100 Gax. But also, thank you to the following people who gifted 2 subscriptions each this week. 672. Oh my God, that was fucking nasty. I'm so sorry, guys. So this morning, I was really hungry, because here's what happened. Last night, for dinner, we had that giant burrito that I told you about from this new local Mexican place. It filled me so much, all right, that I eat at night. I'll have like a sandwich or something. I couldn't eat. I was so full from the burrito, I was like, I'm just not going to eat. But now I woke up this morning and I was starving because my body's used to having something late at night. I didn't have anything. So I woke up, I was so hungry, I ate 2 bagels. Not 1, but 2 blueberry bagels. Not with anything on them, though. I didn't have time. Actually, the truth is I just don't have anything to put on them. I forgot to buy butter, so we don't have, like, spreadable butter for them. And we don't have cream cheese. So the only thing I would put on a bagel, maybe like a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, but I didn't have time to make that in the morning. So really, it kind of sucked. I just had 2 plain blueberry bagels this morning. Now, that's a rarity. I usually don't eat that much in the mornings. So my stomach is full of food. We're talking about fermenting. The food is fermenting in my stomach right now, creating gas. And that gas naturally rises up the esophagus and tries to escape through the mouth. And that's what just happened, is this gas out of nowhere just exploded out of my mouth, completely unexpected. I didn't even feel it coming. It just erupted out of my orifice. It was absolutely disgusting. I'm very sorry, guys. That was revolting. I try not to do stuff like that. Okay? So anyway, let's try this again. Thank you to the following people who each gifted 2 subs to the channel this week. We got 672, FFEHU, Honest Fan, Lunaba, and Diocletian60. Thank you to all of you for 2 gifted subs this week. Also, thank you to Jack Elise, who gifted 3 subscriptions to the channel this week. Thank you to Twisted Resistor, who gifted 5 subscriptions to the channel this week. Shout out to Jasper, who's biting my big toe right now. All right. And Only Iced Coffee has done 23 gifted subscriptions. Thank you very much, Only Iced Coffee, for the 23 gifted subs. That really pushed us over the edge. He's licking my whole foot now. You're a nutcase. Oh, no, he bit the foot. Oh, that's it. You bit my foot. Now I've had enough of this. You're going to get the suplex right now. Flying backdrop suplex across this house. Here we go. Here we go. Here it comes. Flying suplex. Hurrah! I have the twisty again. I'm playing with the twisty. He's biting it. He loves it. He just wants a lot of attention today. What it is yesterday my wife was home, and he was so confused because now he's used to coming in here during the daytime, and he wasn't allowed in here because I had to close the door so my booming voice wouldn't go through the house while playing Call of Duty and bother my wife. So now she's at work, and he's like, oh, it's playtime again. Yeah. He's all excited. He's all raring to go. All right? He's a silly cat. He's just being a nut. Very good. Okay, Mr. Hurdy-Gurdy Man Chase, if people don't understand, charity streams also massively benefit a streamer. It's about getting clout and media attention for bigger long-term growth, and not all of it is kind-heartedness. I mean, for some people, I'm sure. Listen, don't get me wrong. I totally understand that there's people that are doing stuff for clout. They're trying to get people to look at them in a positive light and get a big rub. That's what they call it, to get the rub, right? Get the positive rub from it. I don't think everyone's like that. I think that there are people out there who have enough reach and enough popularity that they know that if they push their attention to a cause, like a non-profit cause, a charity. I think they're twisting to the hallway. You're not going to go? No, he's not. If they put their attention into a charity, that'll get other people to pay attention to it and support it, and it's very, very good, you know. Because here's the thing, you can see both sides of it. Here's how I see it. First of all, personally, I feel charity is something that should always be done behind closed doors, should not be done in the public eye. It should be done solely for the fact of doing something good and not trying to get clout for yourself. That's my personal belief. That's why over the years you don't hear me talking about charity work. You don't hear me doing big charity streams and the like, because I do feel that it's kind of messed up that people who have popularity get positive attention for just doing something that, in my mind, should be done just for doing it because it's a good thing to do. I had a very, very Roman Catholic upbringing, and that's always what I was taught about charity. You know, like the people who should be respected for charity are those who have a life dedicated to it. You know what I mean? Mother Teresa, holy shit, her whole life was just helping people, right? Those are the people who should be, you know, applauded for charity work, not someone on a fucking live stream raising money for St. Jude's. You know, not to say that's not good, because it is, and absolutely, it's awesome that it happens, but why are you kissing their butt? They're already probably filthy rich, which is why they're able to do a crazy good charity stream to begin with. You see? They don't need the positive spin. The person who dedicated their whole goddamn life to charity work, those are the people who deserve respect. That's how I was raised as a Roman Catholic. So for me, it's not supposed to be about, oh, get attention and get any kind of a rub for doing charity work, you see? So, that being said, you will never hear me talk about this kind of stuff publicly. People say, well, Phil, what charities do you support? And what is that? I'm not going to tell you. Because that, in my opinion, that's not right. Like me, if anything that I donate to is my own business, it's not your business. And if ever I was to do a charity event, I would make sure that it was a crazy big one that would get, you know, some kind of huge benefit from it. All right? But I've never done a charity event because sadly there's so many negative people associated with me that I know they would just try to ruin it. So that's why I really don't bother with that. I just privately do stuff behind the scenes and don't talk about it publicly. Because again, that's for me, it's about helping. It's not about getting positivity or getting a positive rub or getting clout out of doing it publicly. All right? But I'm not saying that every single person out there who does charity stuff like that is doing it for clout at all. Of course, some of them are getting clout out of it, but I don't necessarily see that there's people who are purposely lining this stuff up just to get charity work or just to get clout. I would say there's definitely a case of that. It's the WWE. The WWE could spend, I'm not even kidding you, like half an hour of their show talking about the charity work they do. It's like, you could do the charity work and not have to talk about it during your live wrestling broadcast. We don't need to be told you're a good company. We could figure it out for ourselves. So that's some very disingenuous charity work there, where they're doing it literally just to have something to say, hey, look, we're a great company. It's fucking stupid as shit, the way that they spin it and they try to make themselves look good. When in reality, WWE has a lot of things very, very bad that they do. The way they treat their workers and shit, you know, it's pretty messed up. Yeah, oh, we're such a great company because of charity work, right? So anyway, I'll give you a perfect example of how charity can be spun for clout, but also charity can be a good thing. The Ice Bucket Challenge from many, many years ago. What was that, 2015 or something like that? Yeah, I think it was 2015. The Ice Bucket Challenge, okay? Where people all over the internet were challenged to drop a bucket of ice on their head as a way to spread awareness for ALS, right? Now, you didn't have to dump a bucket of ice on your head. You could have just said, hey guys, ALS is pretty important to know about, and it would be nice if we could stop it because it's a debilitating disease and blah, blah, blah. But instead, people said, let's just dump buckets of ice water on our fucking head. And most people who did it have to say, sadly, they did it for clout. They did this because they wanted attention for themselves. They wanted to be part of a viral movement. They didn't necessarily spread awareness of ALS at all. They were just doing it because everyone else was doing it. And, it's the in thing to do. And we all feel like we're doing something good. And we're part of a movement because we're doing it. They didn't necessarily... Stop that, Jasper. He's attacking my foot again. Stop that. They weren't doing it to spread awareness. I'm sorry. Most people weren't. Of course, there were people who were. All right? Absolutely, there were people who were. But the vast majority of people who did it just wanted to be part of the viral movement. It was the cool in thing to do. The feel-good thing to do at the time. Okay? But it must be said, years later, after all was said and done, even though it was revealed that a lot of the money raised for ALS went to bad places, that didn't do anything very good with it, a lot of it did. And ALS, apparently they made major breakthroughs. At one point I thought they said, it's cured. All right? I don't know about that, but apparently there was insanely huge progress made because normally there wouldn't have been a lot of money raised for awareness of ALS. You know, it was actually a lesser known disease and wasn't getting a lot of attention. Because of the Ice Bucket Challenge for like a year, it got tons of attention, tons of funds raised, and apparently they made groundbreaking advancements to basically help either treat it or cure it. Okay? So that's amazing. Right? That's absolutely amazing that this silly viral movement of people doing something for clout actually resulted in raising tons of money that did something good. So it goes both ways. It would have been nice if they could have just raised the money and cured the disease without everyone trying to get clout on the internet. But, it is what it is. That's life, I guess. Right? So that's an example how it could go both ways. Yeah, there are people who basically did it just for attention, but at the same time, it actually did concretely help. So thank God. Because how many times does this stuff happen and a person gets clout and then nothing happens? You also, another thing I should say, if you are ever going to donate to a charity, be very, very careful of who you donate to. A lot of these charities, they are not kosher. They will pocket half of your donation or more under the guise that this is operational cost. Come to find out, they're paying themselves salaries. And it's like, wait a minute. You're supposed to be a fucking nonprofit. You're supposed to be, you take my money and you put it towards a good cause. Why did 50% of my donation go to running your business and you pocketed it and basically paid yourself? Right? So you got to be very careful. By the way, I'm not saying every charity is like that. They're not. But there are some out there that are pretty bad. Okay? Last year, the Black Lives Matter movement, that one major charity everyone donated to, celebrities and everyone, within like 2 months, they still had not given out like 10% of the money they had raised. And everyone's like, where's the money? We gave you this money to help people. What are you doing with it? And their excuse was, we weren't ready to handle this much money. It's like, they give it back, stupid. You got to be very careful. You've got to be very careful with these charities who you give to. And, you always got to try to vet them because some of these are not kosher. They'll claim they are, and where'd all my money go? Oh, sorry. Couldn't help anyone because we had to pay all our employees this month. Like, wait, what? I thought you were a non-for-profit charity. What are you talking about? Okay. Let's continue. Mr. Hurdy-Gurdy-Man cheered again. He said, what I get irritated at is when people say, XYZ raised thousands on stream. No, the common man watching the stream did that. The streamer just gets to take the credit. Well, here's the thing. The person running the stream facilitated that. Jasper, he darted out of the closet and made a bunch of noise. The person running the stream facilitated that, for sure. Those people who donated to that cause may not have actually donated to said cause if that streamer wasn't streaming and raising money for that cause, right? ALS may not have gotten a fraction of the money and attention raised towards it that year if it weren't for the Ice Bucket Challenge, right? These are facts. But at the same time, you're right. You shouldn't give so much attention and clout to a streamer or any content creator or any celebrity or anyone just because they're doing charity work. That should be like, okay, that's very nice that that person's doing it. You know that person is taking time out of their day to do it. They could be doing other things that benefit them. It's nice that they're doing something special, but that's not the end-all, be-all of who they are, and they're certainly not a saint, because obviously they're going to get a positive rub out of it, right? It's all about just being smart, man. It's about being smart and not being gullible, you know. I'm not saying that everyone who does it, that's why they do it. I'm just saying, be aware of these things. This is how it works, man. This is life. People just, the problem is a lot of people just take stuff for face value, and they don't understand how the inner workings of things happen behind the scenes. There's people who would not understand that some charities take money and use it to finance themselves. They wouldn't even understand that. They would just assume every dollar donated to a cause goes to the cause. It's not true. You got to be very careful. Use your head, research, you know, do these things. Don't just assume that everything out there is a bed of roses, because it's not. You got to keep, that's right, you got to keep it real. Keep it real. Okay. What the hell? Mr. Hurdy-Gurdy Man made a cheer. I have no idea what he's even talking about. He got an FD RX-7 on the road this morning after rebuilding a Doritos engine. That's as far as I'm reading. A Doritos engine. All right. That's enough of that. Thanks for the cheers. All right, guys. Let's take a break for me to use the restroom. All right, let's take a break. When I come back, it's a continuation of Danganronpa V3. It should be a good time. I hope that the story will pick up today. I feel it will. I feel that the story will pick up today. Because last time around, we barely got into it because of the stupidity of what happened during the stream, which is now all done with, thank God. And now we can focus on good stuff. All right? So, let's take a quick break. I recommend you grab a drink, a snack, and use the restroom yourself. I'll be using the restroom when we come back. It's the continuation of Danganronpa V3. Very nice. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. Thanks.